Akan, Ghana Port and Harbour. What are you going to do there with the Akan language? So where would they even fix you to be able to work? So you see, national service is something like how should I do? It's something open, right? So like it's a national issue, sort of. Yeah. So everybody knows about it. Yeah. So I don't think you can hide anything. Like if something is going on in this organization, even if not you per se would come out to expose, somebody else in the organization might come out and say this is what they are doing to us here.
Oh
So you
yeah,
can
that
choose to
one.
you
Yeah.
can choose to hide the fact that you are being sent to buy watch, but then a colleague of yours can come and expose you. Work of experience is different from qualification. Some people can even go to the UK, the US to do their master's degree. They will still come to Ghana and be fumbling to find job.
Yeah.
So the fact that you've done your master's degree doesn't guarantee you a job.
Hello, lovely people. Hello, lovely viewers. We welcome you back to Domi Studio. As we do all the time, we bring you nothing but the best of discussion about health, education, marriage, lifestyle, everything. Today, we're going to have exciting conversation. I bet today is going to be a top notch. We have our beautiful guest here. Today, it's going to be, how do you call it? Mungamu. We will inside her. So today, we're going to talk about our youth, specifically about employment after national service. We believe that this is an exercise we do, a compulsory exercise we do right after our tertiary education or right after teacher training or whatever. And it's a compulsory thing we do yearly. But we don't think about afterwards what happens. So on today's discussion, we're going to talk about life before, during, and after national service. In my studio today, I have these two gentlemen. I would like them to introduce themselves and then we take it from there. Hi guys, do you mind introducing yourself to our viewers?
Okay, so I'm Leroy Odro.
Leroy. Hey, you doing your komodo? Leroy, is that okay? All right, all right. So your name again?
Leroy.
Leroy. Eventually, I know because the name itself is, yeah. And we have our very own
Jokey. I'm
Joe.
back again.
This time the Joe was shaped like Kunti.
Oh.
I know this discussion is not gonna actually throw shades, but it's more or less about the youth, what actually goes on in our life right after national service. Like I said earlier, um, national service is a mandatory 1 year working that we work for the government, whether you like it or not. And then it gives you time to actually prepare for life. During this service, you get the experience, you get the knowledge, whatever you need to actually go with your occupation and stuff. So without wasting much time, you first tackle the life before national service. So I believe we've all been in school before, like we are all graduates.
Oh,
God being so
yes.
good. Leroy, right?
Yeah.
Quantum you there. That they are doing my yeah. So I just
No.
so Leroy, now we're doing the
Coffee.
and I went coffee. Coffee no breakfast. So Coffee Lee, I believe you're a graduate.
Yes,
A
I am.
recent one.
Yes, I am.
Which school?
KNUST.
Wow. So he is a product of farming tech. Yes. And then you completed the national survey or you're about to.
I've completed.
Okay. So he's a fresh from the mandatory whatever they call it. And okay.
I also completed.
Hey,
So.
me too, I completed school, but I'm not mentioning. But I've done my NSS too. Yeah, so both are from KNUST. KNUST is actually a good school. I mean, not someone I'm the best there.
In terms of quality education, the whole West Africa in the air first.
Okay, I beg, it's still there.
Yeah,
It is,
Oh
are you
yeah,
still
yeah.
holding
We
that?
are still
we are
holding
still
that.
holding it.
Are you sure?
Of
Yeah,
course.
of course. Yeah, you're the signboard
Our school
kakraka.
too. My school, my people.
Your school, which
Yeah,
school?
Which school?
Which
I'm
school?
interested.
You can't even mention your
It
school.
doesn't
You
matter.
went to
I
school.
went to school. I have
Oh,
a
I see.
certificate.
I see.
Yes. So um, before before we embarked on this 1 year journey for the national service, I believe we had a whole lot of preparation towards it. When we were at the final year, I believe those who were before us, they told us about some of the experiences and no, what are some of the the kind of information you got before you actually selected that I want to go to this region, this company, here, and there. I'll tell you one. So you guys just tell me.
Okay, so
Yeah.
for me, I think I had the chance to, interact with senior course mates and supervisors, and
Okay.
I think I didn't really get to know much about national service like before we started. I mean, all we hear in the news was about the allowances, the delay
The
of
money.
allowances, yeah, and
Yeah.
allowances not being enough. But
Not
then,
being enough. I
yes, not
mean,
being enough,
yes.
yeah, because looking at how the economy is, I mean,
Nation.
depending and surviving on 715 cities a month.
Yeah, we are even like you because then it wasn't up to seven
Yeah,
hundred,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yes.
So I think, the conversations we had with our senior course mates, it's kind of, should I say, scared me a little bit because,
About the money,
yeah,
Charlie.
not about the money per se. Looking at how you can be posted to any organization, not even
Info.
related to your course you did in school, your course of study. So, thinking about how you would relate what you learned in school to where you are going to be posted to and what you're going to learn from there. It was a bit of a scare, but then it was just a 1 year mandatory something. After
One,
1 year,
one year is not just to
yeah,
live.
after 1 year we would, live to see another day. So you don't have to
I believe
beat yourself about it.
you did a whole lot of preparation, a whole lot of research.
Yeah.
And
So I had in mind so many organizations, like
but
so many of them.
okay.
I wanted to go, but then looking at how Ghana is, you can do special posting to organizations, but then you go and they reject you. So you should know somebody there who would help you, find your way
So it's
into
like
the
if
organization.
it's about whom you know.
Yes,
Who you know be
yes.
I forget
So
about
you can think of all the best institutions in Ghana, but then if you don't have anybody there, it's just, searching for a needle in a haystack. Yeah,
some of them who have no idea of what these organizations are
of course,
up
of
to, but
course.
then they know someone there.
Yeah. So some people can do account language,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll be working in Ghana Ports and Harbors Authority
Can you imagine?
as national service
Oh,
personnel. You see, it's whom you know.
yes.
Yeah,
I mean, life is not easy. I know before, during, and after life,
yeah.
it's whom you know. Yeah, whom you know.
Mhm.
And yes, I was okay. So I believe you also did your own research and
Oh,
stuff. Yeah.
yeah. It all starts with research and then where you want to find yourself. That is what I would say. Because if you are targeting some industries in Ghana here and then you wish you might end up with them someday, I don't think you might be targeting the wrong industries. You actually go for what you would like to have in the future. Do you get it? So so you have to do your own research, know where you're coming from, your background, and then where is going to suit you. Do you get it? That is the preparation that you have to make. Yeah.
Oh yes. Were you lucky enough to be posted to the company you wanted to work
Oh, lucky enough, I got the company I wanted to.
in? So it means you knew somebody, right?
Oh, yes. Let me put it that way. Let me put it that way.
uh,
Yeah. You have to know somebody. It's not just about knowing somebody, it's about networking and also it's about somebody knowing you. We always say you have to
you
know
know the
somebody.
person,
You might
right?
know somebody, but the person might not know you. Do you get it?
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah, it's true. And I don't know where you work. Do
Come
you
again.
mind sharing where
No,
you?
no, no. For that one,
Okay.
I can't promise.
Kofi.
Yes.
Okay, your name, eh?
Don't
Don't
worry.
worry,
It's fine.
you'll be fine. So why you don't want to expose where you work? it in a criminal institution or
Oh
something?
no, it's not a
Because
criminal
you want to
institution.
tell us some of the experiences.
Oh
It's
yeah,
all part of the discussion.
I'll share as much as possible here, but I would like
Okay,
to
so
keep company.
did you work in the department? I mean, the course or the how do you
Yeah,
say
the
it?
course of study and the
The course of
department.
study and the department you worked in. Was there anything like
Okay, so the thing is that is one thing I learned when I got to the institution I worked in. So sometimes it doesn't have to be where you're coming from. You are still young. You are just coming from school. There's a whole lot ahead of you that you need to learn. Do you get it? And there are a whole lot of people you are going to meet in your organization. So you don't just stick to one thing. Now the world is growing and you need to go with it. Technology is coming and you need to embrace it. Do you get it? So there are a whole lot of things that you need to learn. It doesn't have to be like, oh, there are some people that always say, oh, I'm not a technology person. Do you get it?
yeah?
So you won't do it. But what if you get yourself cornered and then there's nobody there to help you? What are you going to do? Do you get it? So you have to learn as much as possible, like all that you can learn. Just gain the knowledge and then the skills because you might not know where you're going to end up after your service. Do you get it?
So basically, Kofi, does it mean that wherever you are placed in the organization, with or without the knowledge, you have to force yourself on work because because
Yeah,
sometimes
so
some of the workloads at a particular department where you have no knowledge about it actually difficult to deal with.
with
Right?
what he's saying, I bet to differ because looking at a fresh graduate from university trying to, follow a specific path in his career, and let's say you studied human resource, and now you are posted to work in a maybe client service department or maybe project department or logistics department. You see, it doesn't really correlate. I understand the fact that you have to, explore, you have to know more about maybe other departments, but then you just came from university, you just graduated, and your first work experience, you've been thrown away from whatever you studied in school. So it means you're not ready to maybe follow a specific career path. You just want to, Soha said, no, Soha, no, Soha. Yeah, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
I also believe that if fortunately you get to find yourself in your field of study, you get to experience the practical aspects.
what you studied,
Mostly
yeah.
in school you don't get to do the practical much. For instance, in math school, we did more of the theory than the practical. So fortunately for me, where I did my national service was practically practical. Okay, okay, that's what you're gonna do. And
Okay.
at some point too, I wanted to do other styles and but yet still they wanted me to focus more and then you know help with the practical aspects and. So I believe that yes, if you find yourself in your field of study, it's gonna help. Yes.
So you can be in a department, or your course of studies department. Maybe the course you studied in school, you are in that same department. But being in that department, you can also, in addition, learn other things from other departments. You get what I'm talking about? So let's say
Exactly. Exactly. So
in an organization, some organizations, when you go there, you work maybe a month in this department, you move to the other
it's a
departments,
different
learn
department and
different
then
else. So I believe in that than being taken away completely
Completely.
from what you studied in school.
Yes. But
Yeah.
in some organizations, you have to pay. You have to pay. Even after they've accepted you, you
Oh, is
have
it?
to pay. Dana, why? Why is it all about money?
Oh,
So
it
now,
does happen.
yes.
yeah,
I see.
it does.
I mean, why Jenny Panewe?
In Ghana, you do everything is possible. Am I lying? It's true.
Why
So
Jenny Panewe? For the person to get the experience, the needed experience, this on science years. So in this case, nipa ni yɛ adwuma biara ne motive ne sɛ ɔno nso ba bɛyɛ boss na ɔyɛ den
no, this guy.
ɔno nso agye sika wɔ bi hɔ And
So are you aware of any organization that does that?
I wouldn't want to.
But then you are aware of
Of
some.
course,
I
I
see.
have friends, I have colleagues I
Okay.
competed with that. We have a group where they bring their problems and stuff. It's like, hey, and they tell you, one corner because because what people are going through, if you put me for watch it.
I think that that is a thing of the past. Well, I haven't, I mean, had a first-hand experience of what you're talking about, the money paying and the watcher buying. Like I haven't had it. I've always been hearing, but then I haven't seen with
See,
my naked eye or haven't had a first-hand experience before.
okay, then lucky you.
Yes.
Haven't you heard
Oh,
or seen? I mean, an organization where because me, I remember when I was doing my internship, final year, I happened to be in one of okay, I happened to be in a school where national service personnel came. I was an internship,
okay,
yeah,
awesome.
and the personnel came. See, I advised that oh, career service for school like bank or something. Some have where because open and tiankasa. See, their task or their job was literally of how we bra, for how we bra, G-way and G-way. It's not about a Jumano. Maybe you don't have experience, but I believe you've heard, right? So what are some of the things that you've heard that okay, Okoya service it happens that the society is not in support.
Yeah, so I think that's what it has already been mentioned, the
Yes.
buying of the fruits and
Fruits and then other items.
everything. But then, as I said, I don't know anybody who had that experience. In my friends group, nobody had that experience, and
But will
where
they
I
tell
did,
you? Is it not embarrassing?
oh, you see, national service is something like how should I do? It's something open, right? So like it's a national issue,
Something you're doing for
sort of. Yeah. So everybody knows about it.
yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think you can hide anything. Like if something is going on in this organization, even if not you per se would come out to expose, somebody else in the organization might come out and say this is what they are doing to us here.
Oh
So you
yeah,
can
that
choose to
one
you
there.
can choose to hide the fact that you are being sent to buy watch, but then a colleague of yours can come and expose you.
But sometimes it's not the organization itself, but where that particular person finds himself or herself. The,
Department.
the, the supervisor or the manager in
Yeah,
charge.
that was what I was about to say. I was about to say maybe it could be individuals, not necessarily like the whole organization. Do you get it? Yeah. So hmm, these things we hear them a lot, but I personally hasn't I haven't also experienced that.
I used
So
to hear it happens in the
yeah,
government
sending
institutions.
someone on errands to go and get you food and then all sort of items. But
But did you had yours in a public or a
Yeah,
private?
I had in the public institution.
And how was the experience like?
It was, I would say, one of the best experience. Like I did my internship in government institutions and
Okay.
my service in government institutions, and all what they've been saying about the government institutions, I've never experienced it. Like I was an internship personnel,
Maybe
internship.
it's your composure or something. The
I don't
space.
believe so.
You don't think so?
So
Okay,
we
well,
were
anyway, it means that we get man over yes,
so
man.
where I did my internship, we were about 4 or 5 people in that department, in the HR department, and we all were involved in the daily activities, not to a specific, I mean, extent, but then where we were supposed to work or what we were supposed to do on a daily basis, they make sure we do and deliver. Nobody will be sent to buy watch because when my boss is coming to work, she already has her lunch box. She brings her lunch
For
box,
everybody.
no, for herself. So
Oh,
why would she send you to buy food? And there are drivers there. Maybe a driver is going out. You can ask the driver to maybe buy something for you. So nobody sent an internship person. And the national service too. I did it in a government institution, and I worked like from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. I was involved to
involved,
some,
fully involved.
yeah, to some
So it's not
extent.
the required experience that
Yeah, so I wasn't fortunate enough to be in my
area
department
of
or
study.
yeah, my area of study. So, but then I enjoyed it. It was a little bit related, but then not really related, but a little bit,
A little
fairly,
bit.
yeah.
So let's say, aside your field of study, you also gain another experience in a
Yes.
different field.
So I would term it as customer service because I have to always deal with I mean
Right.
the clients like every day. So if you see clients who are people from different backgrounds,
Of course.
yeah. So if you don't have the patience, the good communication skill, you would not be able to, I
Yes.
mean, interact with them, and always the tempers will be flaring around.
Sometimes I know one little girl where I did my national service. At the front desk, Ombushi. Yes. So we need,
Let's see.
people like Kofi Leroy to actually handle the front desk, and then Linda, wherever you are. Greetings. So yes. So okay. Yes, like you said, you've done your service. So you mind sharing
So
with us, you know?
yeah, national service. Uh, I would say it has been a great start of my career.
Oh
You know,
wow.
uh, where I found
Okay.
myself. Although initially I had this thought that oh, I wasn't posted in like the right department. But come on, the knowledge and then everything. When I tune my mind from that mindset,
Yeah. Talk about your
oh,
mindset.
everything now started going well. Someone once told me that be like the pyramid. So this is the start of your career, and then the base. So the base of the pyramid, you are now learning. So you learn everything that you can grab your hands on. So by the time you are moving up, you see the pyramid will be leveling it will be narrowing. Do you get it? That is where your specifications and then specializations come in. Do you get it? So now that you don't have that skills, you need to use this opportunity to learn everything that you can. Do you get it?
So it's
To
like starting something and figuring it out.
exactly,
Yes,
because
as well.
national service, let me personalize this one also, because it got to a point I didn't even know what to do. Do you get it?
Is
But
it before or during?
now, like during,
During.
yeah, I didn't know what to do, but with the help of supervisors and then mentors and mentees, I was able to come back, and then it has been great so far. I really appreciate them, all their efforts, and I really do love my team. Yeah,
Yeah, shout out to
they
your
are they
base
are they
team.
are they are, they are really a loving team. I
Yes.
love them.
But I also heard that this national service actually favors the girls or the ladies and the guys. How true is that though?
I doubt I get what you are trying
Yeah,
to do,
yeah,
but
yeah,
then
yeah.
No.
Exactly, exactly.
Okay.
You
So
need
for
to be specific.
come
okay,
clear.
okay. So for instance, you and I will find ourselves in wanting to get into a specific or a particular company. But then, because I'm a lady, they will tend to favor me than you because we are
So
bad.
you see, the ladies they have something we call reference power.
Hmm.
So
But
it's
then,
they have something we call the reference power. I think they possess a lot. It's a reference power. When it comes to reference power, it's when you are able to use like your beauty, your what you have to influence somebody's decision. But then, well, I haven't had. I don't know
Any
anybody who
experience.
has been favored.
okay.
Yeah,
So were you
as a girl.
posted directly or you did reposting?
My postings came directly. I didn't do any reposting.
So you didn't do any back, the Kululu kind of thing. I
Nah.
know this one, so I beg, let it go.
So when my postings came, the first, I was actually expecting one organization. So I asked one man to help me with, reposting. So I thought he has done it, but then it turns out he didn't do it. So
Didn't do
the organization I got to wasn't bad. It was one of the finest you can get in Ghana, government
That's good.
institutions
I
you can
mean,
get.
because you clearly don't have anything bad to say about where you
No, no,
did
no, no,
your
no, no, no.
national
I
service.
enjoyed it. I mean, my supervisor was very great, and
A woman or
Yeah, she was a woman.
a she?
Yes, she.
I mean, the she people, we are good though.
One of the finest supervisors you can ever get.
Shout
I,
out
I
to
worked with, so that where I worked, I was in Tema West District. I wouldn't mention the organization, but I was in the Tema West District of the organization, and there was three ladies and three gentlemen,
which
and
you were part of.
yeah, which I was part of. And
Young
I mean,
ladies.
so my supervisor is fairly young. Fairly young, and the rest are young ladies. I enjoyed my experience with them. I had this perception about ladies that when ladies get into power,
Yes.
they tend to, be pompous and things.
And
But then my
arrogant and
supervisor
all.
was like humble, down to earth.
Down to
She was the opposite.
How she would interact with you would you wouldn't even think she's a supervisor. But then when it comes to serious business, she means business. So it makes working with her very, beautiful.
myself, I had a good supervisor. Yes. I mean, I had a good experience too, I would say. Also, I mean, whatever I wanted to experience, I couldn't get. But you know, we all have expectations.
Yeah,
So
okay.
when you're going into something, you tend to, okay, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to do. But then when you go there and it doesn't go as planned, you tend to be a little bit disappointed. But overall, I'll just give them like 70%. It was quite good, and then yes, I
You got
worked.
to learn new things, right?
Yes,
Yeah, that is the best part of it
yes,
all.
I did. I did. So, an advice to fresh graduates, those who
Okay.
are now trying to is process ongoing or it's
So
over?
they've started national service already.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
good.
started early this month, 1st October. So national service has started already.
Okay, so but do you think it's a good idea to do reporting even though you don't find yourself in where you want to be, like
So
the region or the
with the national service policy, they are saying is it reposting or special posting? Are you talking about
special no special
special posting? So the
because
National
you
Service
see those
Authority,
that's
But is
good
there a
that's
difference
special
between
that's
reposting
what I'm
and
about to
special
there is a
posting?
difference.
Okay.
Reposting is when you've been posted to an organization and you don't want organization, you want to be posted to different organizations.
that's
That's
the
repost.
reposting.
But special posting is when you've not been posted, but you pay money to somebody to put you in an organization of your choice.
Oh, so there's a case where some people don't get posted at all.
So some people, everybody would be posted, but then some
Okay,
people would not like where they've been posted to, maybe the organization or the location.
that's where
So
Okay.
they
you do
would
the
go back,
reposting.
yeah. So they'll go back to the National Service Metro or the Secretariat for them to repost him or her, or they'll pay money to somebody for the person to repost him or her. But the special posting is when the posting is about to start. They're
About
about
to
to start
Oh, okay.
posting, and you pay money to somebody to
so you go there directly.
yes. So they'll
You don't
post
have
you
to
to
wait
the
for.
yes. They'll post you to the place of your choice
Oh,
directly. That's a special posting. But
oh,
then
okay,
the NSC, National Service Authority, frowns upon special posting. They
okay.
advise that wherever you've been posted to go, if you go and you're rejected, go back to the district or the metro. They would repost you, go to different organization. When they reject you, you go back, they repost you again. The number of times you get rejected, the more you are being
But do you
reposted.
think it's right for an organization to reject someone?
So most of the time they reject based on the number of
Oh,
service
okay.
personnel they've received. Maybe they've
But you're
had.
not the one paying the
So
personnel, so why would you
you
bother
see, the
about?
working environment also counts. So in an office, imagine maybe an office with 5 desks and 8 people are working in that office. Where would the three
You can
people?
run shift now. Your company were you not on shift?
Oh yeah, yeah. We were on shift basis. So
But then, yeah. So maybe those in the. It depends on the industry you're working in. Maybe you are working in the mining industry, manufacturing industry. That's when you can run shift. But working in a government agency, you run shift. Like how would you? Is
yeah,
it daily shift
it does
or
it does happen.
monthly
Weekly
shift?
shifts.
Weekly shift.
I know
Okay.
someone who used to go for a weekly shift. So
Okay. So if it's
the
weekly shift,
Is
then
there
that's fine.
it was a government
Esco?
it's a government organization.
Okay.
Yeah. So because the number of people over there were that many, they used to run weekly shifts. So
Because
maybe this number of people will come like this week or like let's say 2 weeks interval, and then
oh then
different set of people also
And some organizations too, get posted to the organization and maybe they don't have a department to fit you in. You see,
Yeah.
I mentioned account language in Ghana Port and Harbour. That was just a hypothetical something. I don't mean they are
Yeah.
doing that. It was just hypothetical. I was giving an example. Yeah, so maybe account Ghana Port and Harbour. What are you going to do there with the account
Exactly.
language? So where would they even fix you to be
That's
able to
yes.
work? So sometimes you can be rejected based on the course of study. Maybe it doesn't
Yeah, exactly.
match with what their mission or vision or whatever they are doing
That
there.
is why I said initially that if you want to go to an industry or a company, you need to do your background search. Well, where are you coming from, and where the organization you want to enter into, is it going to help you?
But you know,
You get
sometimes
it?
too, it's not with a personal.
Okay.
You clearly state because I believe on the dashboard you state
You don't
your
even state the school will send it to the National Service Authority, so they have your details. They have the course you
so
studied.
they have everything, but
Yes.
then they
Yes.
deliberately send you to an organization where they know that that institution is not in line with whatever you studied in school.
So I'm sure they might have a criteria of posting. I'm not privy to because I don't think they would intentionally push you to somewhere you can't. I mean, have the benefit.
Don't you think sometimes they just do that so that you come and pay money
Oh,
for them to
so if you are
proceed?
reposting, you don't pay money. If you go to the secretariat for reposting, you don't pay money.
But how about those? Are
So
you
those
sure?
who pay the money are those who want to use the Goro boys. Maybe
You have a team called that?
no, see
Yeah, the third party
the Goro boys,
people.
they know somebody there or they work there, so they just take money and do it for you, like the passport office. You want to apply for
Oh,
passport, you see those boys posting on their status, maybe for passport registration for
okay.
uh,
DME for passport
DM.
and
So
birth
those people
cert,
they know people
those
there, so
guys.
they will just take the money, give their guys over there, they pay something. Those are the Goro boys. But if you
Oh,
want the legit one, you go to the National Service Secretariat. You tell them. So when you go to an organization and they don't take you, they write on it maybe no
the
vacancy,
reason.
no vacancy,
Yeah.
repost
Okay.
personnel. You go there, they'll read and they'll repost you, and you take it to the organization you were posted to.
Okay, so has it ever happened that you get rejected so many times that you don't find yourself in any organization at all? Then maybe
I
they
Oh
doubt.
no,
I
I doubt.
doubt.
There are so many organizations in Ghana here, and then I think even if you don't even get the private sector that you're looking for, you definitely get somewhere in the government sector. And if the government sector is also full, you definitely find yourself in the private sector. So I don't think there's a situation unless you yourself you don't want to do um your national service within that year for maybe personal reasons or something. Yeah.
You know, yes, every personnel go through is to get retained after service.
Yeah.
Because they say, I know the human in Ghana. So wherever you find yourself, you wish that right as a national service, they get to employ you or they retain you. So you go extra mile. Sometimes get into me, your crown, then we try to, and sometimes
Trying
you
to impress them.
yes, just to omit me,
Yeah.
yeah, not well, that kind of yes. And sometimes some of the personnel they don't know what to do in order to attract that retainment after service. With your experience and everything, I mean, advising the new personnel
So for
cell that
me, I
yeah,
don't think retention is attracted.
you sure.
You'll be retained if there is vacancy.
Yeah.
So if
Because
there is no vacancy, no matter what you do, you can never attract
But
retention.
what if there is, but they see your
So you
potential?
see, some vacancies require years of experience. So maybe they see you not to have that experience or
Because you are
that
fresh from school.
yes.
but at least you've been with them, you've learned so many things. So
So we
Mm,
should go
you
out
see,
there.
sometimes it's not one person's
no,
decision.
not necessarily.
It definitely comes from the top, maybe the board of directors or the MD or the
Exactly.
CEO. So
Exactly.
you just a line manager or a department manager can't you can recommend, but they would still rule it out. So I can send a recommendation about you to the board of directors that you did so and so here and you want to retain you for this vacancy. They'll be like, this vacancy requires an expert knowledge, somebody with these years of experience, and obviously you don't have that number of years of experience. So
But we have some people who have been in school, like they've had degrees, and then I don't know how to put it. like their first degree. I
master's
think
degree.
their master's degree and all. So maybe they didn't do their national service right after the first one. Then maybe probably the second one they tend to do it. Doesn't mean that those people will get the opportunity to get retained in that particular company.
So let's say work of experience is different from qualification. Some people can even go to the UK, the US to do their master's degree. They will still come to Ghana and be fumbling to find job.
Yeah.
So the fact that you've done your master's degree doesn't guarantee you a job.
I remember one lady in our hostel where she was teaching in the junior high school and she didn't do a national service after she studied training. So she came to the university for the degree and then right after she was posted to do the national. Does it mean with the experience of this lady she can
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
use it
so
as
she can put on her CV that maybe she has this number of years of experience in this field and is capable of doing this and that. So depends on the person.
okay, all right guys. So like I said, today's conversation is all about national service. You know, luckily for us, we had the opportunity to go to the tertiary, and then I'm done with mine.
Yeah.
Kofi is done with his
Yeah.
as well as okay. And then I'm still reminding you that we are in the month of October, breast cancer awareness. Go out there, go to the qualified person, not your boyfriend or your husband. Go to the hospital, let them massage it. I believe there's something hidden in there. You will get to know. Okay, so Kofi, after national service like this, I don't know whether you got retained or I mean,
So sadly, I didn't get retained, due to lack of vacancy in my organization. So I mean, you'd have to apply for jobs and yes, see what you can get for national service. And I mean, my supervisors, the people, my colleagues at work, I mean, they are all helping. So if they hear of anything, they'll just send it to you. Like, they show they care.
Yeah.
They are concerned about you. So I mean, we are still in a job, but it's just 2 weeks, 2 weeks after national
after.
service. So it's just 2 weeks. Yeah. So I mean, we are still hunting for a job, and I mean, I had a chance to do internships. So at least I have a little bit of experience from internships from senior course mates through supervisors and lecturers. So I
So
think
you
we
see,
will be good to
yeah,
go.
as a national survey, they don't retain you. It's not a matter of, rushing or doing anything extreme. You know, some people, especially the ladies, they tend to. I don't want to say it, but
They
Oh, go on.
offer
No.
themselves
offer just in case.
offer themselves to
Yes,
the
I know
managers.
someone can do that.
Hey, you see,
I'm
You
not
know
mentioning.
somebody who can
that's
do that.
interesting.
Yes,
Oh,
I
okay.
know someone who can do that, but I'm not gonna mention name. Yes. So after national service, you are it's like you entered into the real world because you believe in school. Oh my mouse car. You lie, you buy textbooks,
Well, you used
people.
to do that. You used to lie because me, I didn't lie.
No,
I didn't.
let's assume. Okay, so Joe didn't lie, but I did. Because and that time too, you don't get the wisdom to say because you think that you keep coming and no.
Yeah.
But talking about saving, uh, you did yours in the public center, right?
Mhm.
And the 715. How much was it?
Yeah, 715.
Was it coming as expected?
So I would say they've done remarkably well this particular year. So let me say something.
It seems no. It seems you had quite a good experience with this your 1 year
Yes,
service.
so it's good you used quiet. So when we
Yes.
started from November, December, January, February, they paid nothing. So we
November.
went the 4 months with nothing.
All the way.
Like from November till February, had nothing.
You were going
Okay.
every
Yeah,
day.
and yeah, we were going every day.
Mm.
Yeah, they kept on assuring us that they are working on it, they are working on it. But then the moment they cleared the 4 months backlog, they've been very consistent with the
Everything came
payment.
the
No,
4 months.
so they paid, I think, but they paid 2 months and they came to pay the another two
Additional
months,
2
yeah,
months.
additional
Oh,
two
okay.
months later. And they've been consistent from, I think it was 2 days ago. So the,
The last
um,
one.
no,
The last
the
one.
September,
September.
yeah, September allowance dropped. So we are waiting for the this month's allowance, and they haven't. I mean, fought it. They've been very consistent, and kudos to them. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so yes, I don't have much to say about that because I didn't do mine in the
Okay.
public
Public
sector.
sector,
Where
okay.
yes, okay, you did yours in the private
Private
sector,
sector,
and
yeah.
how was the payments like? Were you
Oh,
being
Busumi
paid?
Bia Kurodum, that one there. Because it's not a government, do you get it's a private institution, so definitely you're going to be paid. So far as the company is paying his employees, you're also a part of the company, you're also an employee, so you get paid, yeah. And on time.
Okay, so are personnel entitled to what employees are benefiting from that institution?
No.
Not entirely,
Not entirely, yes.
but some.
Yes, there are certain things.
Like what?
Let's say, if you find yourself in an institution where, let's say, they feed you every day.
They feed you.
I mean, as in
Is it even
lunch,
possible?
lunch.
They have institution who feed their personnel.
Yes, of course, but because you are part of you're also an employee. Do you get
So
it?
in Ghana, yeah, there are companies who feed their workers.
Yes.
Nice, right? Did you? Yes. Were you being fed? Were you being fed?
So
I mean,
I wasn't being fed. I mean, I I work in the government sector, and you have to cater for yourself. So maybe one day supervisor will be like, "You guys should use this for lunch. Buy lunch with this." Not
but not the
every day.
government feeding you.
No,
Nah, that
it's from
one.
a personal pocket.
Also, you're being fed because it's a private institution.
Um, it's not all private institutions. Let me put it that way. Um, but it's the institution I found myself
Oh,
in.
then
So
lucky you.
So
yeah,
as you are saying, are they entitled to
Everything.
everything? The reason why I said no is that let me make an example. You see, you start your service in November or October, November,
November first.
and if you've not worked with an organization for the government sector, with them for, or maybe private, yeah, or the labor law, it's cuts across.
yeah,
If you not work with them for, let's say, a particular number of months, I think 6 months or so, you will not be entitled to any of the perks they get. So, like maybe Christmas packages.
Packages.
Ideally, you're not entitled to it because you've not worked with them for that
number
specific number of
number
months.
of
So if they will give to you, it's discretionary. It's their personal decision to
Yes.
give to you or something.
Because they are extremely nice.
So,
yeah.
but if they will not give you, they've not done anything wrong.
Can't
You
beat them.
can't hold
Oh,
them up to it.
Yeah.
Done anything wrong.
So okay, you were saying something. Sorry for cutting you
oh,
short.
no problem.
Yeah.
So I was saying there are certain benefits like let's say you find yourself in an organization where they provide lunch for every employee. Do you get it? I'm not sure they will say you are an NSP, you are a national service person, so
Then they'll be
they are
eating
not
and
going.
you are sitting
Do
like
you get
an
it?
offer.
Yes. So there are certain things you are going to benefit from so far as you are there with them and then you are part of the team. Do you get it?
Myself, like you're saying, I did mine in a private institution and not everything, but then most of the things. When it comes to feeding, bathing, they wouldn't
Exactly.
say you are an SPC because the location of the institution was, quite far from where I was staying. So the bus will just meet you halfway, although they will not pick you from the point, but then meet you halfway. But it was, I mean, it was a nice experience. And you see, this yearly service is mandatory. To me, I feel it's not supposed to. Like, I don't know. It shouldn't be compulsory.
Oh yeah, there are some people who start their service, they don't finish their service and then they stop. In Ghana,
It's
yeah,
compulsory
it
because if you
happens.
want to get work in Ghana, like in a government institution,
It
without
happens.
a national service certificate, it would be difficult. Maybe unless, of course,
Private
somebody
institution.
pushes you in.
But
But then I know some employees, some workers, they've worked for maybe like 3, 4 years and they're not doing their service. So people like that,
they've worked for more for years
yes, for
before doing
Years
their
years,
before
yes.
service.
doing
So
their
people like
How
that,
service.
lucky
you'll be
them.
posted to the same organization you are working in, but you'll not be paid the allowance.
Okay.
Yeah, I think some people, I don't know for what reason, but they were able to skip service and started working. I don't know for whatever reason or
Yeah,
how it
because
happened.
this one really seems strange.
Yeah, so they would post you to organization where you are working, but then you'll not pay you any allowance. You'll be taking your normal salary from the organization.
So, in this case, if assuming you get your evaluation form filled all right, but then you don't present it for the certificate, does it mean that you can present it at any point in time for them to process the
So
certificate for
on the
you?
dashboard, you see there's a deadline there.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm sure after the deadline, I don't think they would compulsorily
Reopen
say
it.
you can't submit. But then maybe in the worst case scenario, maybe something happened or like
Yes.
you were incapacitated. Like you can just go to the office or
Explain.
secretariat and maybe give a
It might,
valid
it
reason
might take
for
it
your
might take quite
inability.
some time though, but
But then
probably.
if the reference if your reference stated actually can defend you
Yeah, so
or
you should give a valid reason
Yeah, yeah.
for your inability to submit.
okay, so it's from November, right? The ideal time is from November to
October.
Yeah, October.
meaning
It's not even up to a year.
11 months or 10 months.
11 months. Let me put it that way, because November to November will be 1 year,
and
but
then you have a leave month.
your leave month is always your last month.
So
So
that's what I want to know. Is it that you have to work for the 10th month then go for the leave, or you can spread the month
okay,
within
so
the working days?
I would say it depends on where you find yourself. Leroy, like this, I don't know if where he found himself they used to do that, because there are some organizations who would prefer their employees to take their leaves in bits. They get it, so that at least your leave month you wouldn't just leave and then they won't
Just
see
like
you
that.
again. They get it. So in your leave months you might still be around, but you are not going to take like the whole 1 month leave. You take it in
Because you
bits.
spend some of the days.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. I believe that after national service, I think what is it? There is a term we use for it in school. That after service, if you don't find yourself in that particular company you work with, you can actually work for them for some time. Is it a grace period or something? You have a certain
So
thing called
there's something called the voluntary
the voluntary. Yes.
service too. So I think they released a communique about it some time ago, but I don't know if they've yet activated the portal for you to apply for the voluntary service.
How is it done, or
So
how is it
yeah, when they open the portal, they will give the steps to, I mean, how to apply for the voluntary service.
working for free?
Yeah, you're a volunteer, so I'm sure they would give you some small tips or some small allowances.
Oh,
Then
okay.
you would not expect it to come constantly or consistently as
A service
yeah.
person.
So before we conclude, a
Yeah.
little advice to our freshers, those who have started last week, those who will come next year. I mean, sometimes will be or her or free fear up to maybe a different environment. They have a fear or they have a certain mindset about where they are working because sometimes supervisors and managers take advantage of the personnel and found out your banner
No, okay.
all round, not about what you guys are thinking. All round. So a little motivation or a little advice to them. Because me, for instance, I had a very nice working experience with my team. Although sometimes and they are rough crack, but it's normal.
Yeah,
Not
it's all part of the experience.
yes, not from the managers but your co-workers. Or most feel this a weird personnel, so they treat you like I mean, as I said, you are not part of them. Meanwhile, when it's time for work, they want you to work fully as a
That's
full
service
worker.
person, yeah. So
Yes.
based on what you said, I think I would base my advice on that. You
Okay.
see, you meet people from different backgrounds,
Backgrounds.
different,
Okay.
I mean, orientations. Like, so you don't expect everybody to treat you the same as maybe you are being treated in the house. So if you go to a workplace and maybe you face such challenges, you should know that it's just a 1 year something. So if you really want to enjoy your stay in that organization, you just have to turn a blind eye to some of these and just continue working. But don't work to impress. Work because
You are
you are
willing to.
working or you are willing to do. If you try to impress somebody, you always make mistakes or you always, end up being disappointed.
So you recommend where you went to the incoming.
Of course,
It's in Tamara
I work in the Tema district,
district.
in the Tema branch of the organization, but the head office is in Accra. Yeah, I don't know if I mention the place, everybody will know where I'm
They
talking
will
about.
want to go. I'm person who experience
Oh,
now.
they can go. They can go. I don't want to mention organizations. I'm tempted to mention, but I don't want to mention. Yeah.
I mean, okay, will you recommend where you did your national service to?
Oh yes, but
Because how would you recommend without mentioning them?
I'm not going to. I'm not going to. But I would say it's a nice place to be. Like initially, I said,
You just
it,
recommend. Some people want to also enjoy the free lunch and the free bus.
And the food part,
So
like I was saying,
oh,
I know this
for the
it's not
food,
like
for
you're
the
saying
food
something
part,
bad.
it was really a nice experience.
It's not like you're saying something bad.
Aduane there, like
Eh,
obi a pay
you are
aduane.
just praising the
Who
organization.
doesn't even want?
You are praising them. So mention them
Why,
and
why
praise
why
them.
are you trying to? It's like
So
you're
you
trying
see, at
to
this
tempt
point,
me to,
working in the private sector is better than the government sector
Uh,
because government they don't feed you, and most of the private sector
So
I wouldn't
so
say that
so
because
is
there
is
are
the
some
is the
people.
feeding the yardstick for
food is
really?
yes 715. That means you know 1 week.
Is it?
I mean it's too small.
I see.
So if you're being fed
Oh, okay.
lunch,
Oh,
when
okay.
you turn
So
on DJ, I don't think so. For the
Oh.
DBA,
I get where you are coming from. You see, you are a lady and you would have so much expenses. Even just doing your hair, it would cost you
so
a
you so
fortune.
are you trying to
I
say that
mean, me shaving,
715 was okay?
it wasn't okay. But then I want you to understand that you comparing the government sector and the private sector, it's like comparing Ghana to the UK. Ghana has its own benefits. UK has its own benefit. Ghana has its own disadvantage. UK has its own disadvantage.
Mm.
You were working from 7 to 7, right?
Yes.
I was working from eight to
It
five.
was from 7 to 6.
Seven to
By the
six.
time you get
I was
home,
working
it
from
will be
eight to
late.
five.
You get
By
it.
4:55, we start. Wrapping up with things, and we are done. So you see some of the enjoyment I had. It was right. It
And
was
another enjoyment is staying at home during public holidays.
public
You
holidays.
But
get
you
it.
were
Yeah,
working.
yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh.
And even if
It
you do
happens,
not
you
work,
know.
the food
So
alone
you
will
shouldn't
Yeah,
always think about the compensation, the benefits.
yeah.
Sometimes you look at other areas. Uh-huh.
That
yes.
one is very true.
And
So,
it's true. It's
Yeah,
it's not all about the money because
of
seven one
course.
five
and it's
here.
not all about the food also. There are other benefits, but it was just the food that I like the most. You know,
So
food
how
is
come you
good.
are
Food
still
is good.
like this? And if
Maybe
they
the journey. Yeah, yeah. Let me put it that way.
because mom was the only 1 year.
Oh,
Free food.
it's not 1 year.
It doesn't matter. It's
Nah, like the
almost,
food got here now, baby.
but it was good,
Oh
right?
yeah, it was a nice experience
But
and
for me, I would recommend the private sector because I did mine
in the
in the
private sector. But do you know it's just like what Leroy was saying. It depends on where you find yourself. Not necessarily it being private or public. But you might say
the
private
experience is important.
exactly. That is why you are there. You are there. Do you get it? That is why you were posted there. So just gain every knowledge that you can find or you can get. Do you get it? And then maybe you might find yourself in a higher place after your service.
Yeah, so the experience that we get during this mandatory period is not only about, um, it's not only for the the institution, but for our life, for ourselves, where we find ourselves in the future. It can be in the country, outside, different, maybe different from what you learned in school. But then do what you can, and don't like Kofi said, and yeah, my name grows so
Yeah,
No,
just
you can't say name my name, bro. So and yet
like
because person will
oh,
impress you.
Mrs.
yeah,
Sama, that
don't
one
Yet
there, that
because
one.
you are doing
no,
it
but
wholeheartedly.
it's not the same thing. Impression
If
and
it's like a guy interested in a girl, you do everything to impress the girl. But Bobby send their tonta, they name what
but it's
just to
good now.
impress the girl.
You invest
You
in
get
what
it?
you want.
Oh really? That's investment.
Is it not?
Bobby send the tonta to impress or buy investment.
Is it not? No.
I see.
Oh yeah. I mean yes. So
Okay, that's
yes,
fine.
like like I was saying, it has been a lovely
Yeah, of
conversation
course.
altogether. I believe viewers out there who are doing their national service or who are about to do next year, you find this video something and then you learn something from it. And yet, America, and yeah, I mean, so we tell you, no more posting for baby on do well to adjust. Tune your mind. Just go with the flow. Then here you get the experience or you have a little knowledge about it. I believe with time you get adapted and then everything will go well for you and then your team will be a great impact or you'll be a great team member. So yes, it's been a great conversation so far. So I'll say so far so good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So far so good. And then yes, thank you for coming. This
Oh,
is
you're
Domi
welcome.
Studio and I still remind you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just press on the bell there so that whenever we upload a new video, you get a notification. Go like, comment, bring your ideas, what your views, and in fact, we need your support. Send to a friend on your status everywhere. Let's just help support Domi Studio, and then we bring you nothing at the best. So yes, guys, this brings us to it's not the end of show, end of discussion.
Okay.
Yes, it's been good so far, and then thank you
Mm.
for your contribution.
Oh, you're
Thank
All
you for
welcome.
right.
having me.
Yes. Yes. I'll have you. No.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So yes, I'll see you. Have a nice day.